And all 3 days in a row, I am the lightest that I've been in 15 years.
Wow. Fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. 3 days in a row, and I keep getting lighter. I'm not losing a pound a day or anything like that. I'm losing them. Some days it's a quarter of a pound, some days it's a half a pound. But you know what? As long as it keeps going in that direction, I'm okay with it.
That's
Thanks.
fantastic.
Yeah. So my goal is by end of the month, 1st of April. I'd like to be down below 220.
Yep.
220. I should be able 5 pounds by the 1st of April. I should be able to do that.
Fantastic. Well done.
Yeah. So I was just saying before you jumped on the call that I've got my hunger so well under control that I sometimes I forget to eat.
Wow. And how are you
Yeah.
doing that? How did you get your hunger under control?
Sizzle thin. Sizzle thin.
Wow.
Sometimes, yeah, I found, Katie, that honestly, I'm taking three at a time now, and if I feel like I was hungry the last session, then I go up to four, and I'm going through a little bit more than of the pills than I did before, but if it
It's working.
works, it's worth it because I got to get this weight under control.
Wow. Okay. So you're doing 3, sometimes 4. That's amazing. And I mean, if you're at that sort of level and you're having more of an impact, a greater effect, then obviously the money's well worth it because, investing in your health and being able to manage your weight, that's fantastic.
Yep, yep, and that's exactly how I look at it. Is that if I can get my weight under control, that's really my biggest health challenge
Mm.
is my weight. Sure, yeah, I've got a little bit of pain in my leg because of the motorcycle wreck. I've got a little bit of pain in my back because I broke my back a year and a half ago. I've got a little bit of brain damage just because I'm a retard. But I mean, I can't do anything about that one. But no. So okay, folks, we got to get this rolling. Um, and I just want to say that thanks for being here with us tonight. Thanks for joining us. If you're listening to the recording, thanks for jumping on. Get back to the person that shared it with you and tell them thank you. And whether you get on board with us or not, that's up to you. I've learned not to chase people because we all have things happening in our life. It might not be the right time. Timing is everything. When it comes to building a business, timing is everything because if it's not the right time, you're not going to put your 100% effort into it. And what's going to end up happening is that it's not going to work. And most people don't look for, they're not going to say, oh, that's why. What they're going to do is they say, oh, it's not for me. Network marketing is not for me. Or they might say, oh, those things don't work. I run into people all the time that tell me that. They'll say, they'll tell me, that they've tried it before, and I said, well, what company were you with? Maybe you got in the wrong company. I mean, the thing about it is if you're in a race and you're riding the wrong horse, you're not going to win. If your horse is having a bad day, you're not going to win. And so it may not be your fault at all. Maybe you're in the wrong company, and you have to look at that. Maybe you're just too busy with other things, or maybe it just wasn't explained to you in a way that made sense. And so if you're listening to this, reconsider. Look at Sisel. It's a great company. We've got some great products. We've got a great compensation plan. And I'm not going to go through any of that tonight. I know Katie's going to cover some information on the skincare. I love the skincare. I'm going to turn 60 in 2 weeks. And people ask me all the time, what am I doing for my skin? I don't use any makeup. This is my own natural skin. And I don't feel like I have a lot of the wrinkles that a lot of 60-year-old guys do. I'm outside all the time. I haven't taken the best care of my skin. And yet I feel like it's a little bit saggy because I'm losing some weight, but I'm using the skincare products on that, and Katie will talk about that, how it tightens it up. But folks, what I want to talk about is the fact that right now in the world, and I'm going to speak primarily for where I'm at in America right now, that when we take a look at it, it was just in the news 2 weeks ago. They said that millennials are complaining that they don't have any money. They don't have enough money to pay their rent because they've got extra healthcare bills and this and that, and they don't have enough money. And I'm not going to get into my reasons why they may not have enough money, but I'm just going to say, here's a way that you can generate an extra paycheck per month. And what if you could generate an extra, let's say that you generated $50 a day, and you did that 5 days a week, $50 a day. Now, does that sound like a lot? To some people, yes. To some people, no. But if you're generating $50 a day and you had to put a minimal amount of time in it, maybe you had to put half an hour in, maybe you had to put an hour. I mean, if you put in a half hour of honest work per day into building your Sisel business, I'll tell you, I can almost guarantee, I mean, I can't make a guarantee, but I can almost guarantee that it's going to work for you. And I'm sure Katie would agree with me that's the case, because when you're looking at this, it's not that hard. But what happens is everybody's got an excuse on why they can't do it. And I'm not going to get into those excuses and anything like that. What I'm just going to say is that if you put a little bit of time into it and you work it smart, you can make this work. And with our business, the way our compensation plan is set up, and I think all network marketing companies, whether you're in another company, you're in this company, and you're looking at Sisel, there's little building blocks to the compensation plan that you can use. There's little things that you can do that you can see that you can say, okay, here's what I need to do to build it. And with Sisel, it's built in blocks of 3. And what I mean by that is that you got to go on, you got to find 3 people who want to go to work. And how do you know that they're the right 3 people? Well, because they go to work. If I pick my friend Bob and I say, hey, Bob, jump on this call with me. Let's go, let's go make this thing work. He says, yeah. And I get all excited because Bob's joined me. But then the next day, Bob doesn't answer his phone. I can pretty much tell you right then and there, Bob probably isn't one of your 3, because he didn't get excited along with you. He lost that excitement. Maybe he talked to his uncle and his uncle said, hey, I was in one of those things. I lost my money, and that happens. There's network marketing companies on here that will steal your money. And I'm not going to try and tell you that there's not, just like any industry, there's good and there's bad. But, you want to find 3 people who honestly go to work. And how do you know if they're the right 3? Because they actually do go to work. And people say to me, they say, well, Curt, what do you have to do? You find these 3 people who want to go to work, but what's the work? Well, the work is finding 3 people. And I know that sounds kind of silly, but that's really what it is, because we're in the business business of building businesses. We're helping other people build businesses. And I know that sounds kind of silly, but you got to write it down, is that we're helping other people build businesses. And when you look at our paycheck, like when I look at my paycheck on the 14th of every month, the 15th of every month, and I look at my paycheck, 85% of my check comes from people who buy the products. They love the products, and that's all they do. They might go out and they tell 1 or 2 people, but primarily all they're doing is buying the products. They're really not doing the business. They're really not going out and building a business. They're not doing it serious, like what I'm talking about with the 3 people that you're looking for. So 85% of your check is going to come from those people. But guess what? The 3 people that you find, or 4 people or 5 people that actually go to work, are going to be the ones that are going to find the 85%. So if all you're doing is selling product, you're part of the 85%, in my opinion, right? because you're not going out and finding 3 people who want to build the business. If all you're doing is finding people who want to take the product, you're part of the 85%. And thank you for doing that. That's great. And you can make money, and maybe you can make a lot of money, but the whole idea behind network marketing is that you're building a network of people, you're building a network of providers, you're building a distribution system that's built on people like you and me who want to go out and build a business. They want to have an extra paycheck. And so when I joined network marketing 15 years ago, when I seriously joined it, because I had been in a couple companies before that, I was selling the products and things like that, and I won't get into all that. But after my motorcycle wreck 15 years ago, I was laid up. I was in bed, and they told me that I might not never walk again. I had 3 teenage boys, single father. What am I going to do? I mean, all I've ever done, I was telling a friend of mine last night, I said, I've never had a job working for anybody. Who's going to hire me? I'm not going to be a good employee because I'm too used to being the boss and everything. You know, I get to decide. And so I'm not going to be a very good employee. So who's going to hire me? I have no experience. I mean, if you saw my resume, it just says, who'd you work for? And me, right? And so I had to come up with a way of generating income. And that's how I got involved with network marketing. And when I got into Sisel, because I'd been in a couple other companies prior to Sisel, and there was always something that seemed to be wrong with the company. And I was in 2 companies prior to joining Sisel that failed on me. I mean, I can tell you stories about that. I won't get into that, but they failed on me. So I went to work, and I was quickly in the top ranks of recruiters in those companies. But then the companies kind of didn't provide, and all of a sudden here I am left holding the paperwork, and you know, so when I found Sisel, what I like about this, we have a company that's got products that work. We've got products that I'd be proud to put my name on any one of these products. I'd be proud to put my name on any one of these products. And we've got a compensation that pays. And so if you go out there and you find 3 people who want to build a business, and they go out and they start looking for 3 people who want to build a business, and they're in the business building business, right? And they understand that. And along the way, you're going to find people who just they say, well, I don't want to do that business. I've tried it before. I don't have enough time. Whatever their reason is, but I sure like the idea of that product. You say, hey, welcome, come on board. Excuse me. Let's get these products ordered for you. And that's part of the 85%. That's where 85% of your paycheck's going to come. But you're not looking, I mean, you're looking for those people too, but you're looking for the 3 people. And if you find 3 who find 3, who find 3. That's so 3 find 3, that's 9. Those 9 go out and find 3, and you're helping every one of these people do it. That's another 27. 3 times 9 is 27. And so 27 plus 9 plus 3 plus you is 39. And with that, if they follow the plan, a simple plan of buying the right amount of product, and the right amount of product is 300 PV. You come in with the 300 PV, and there's a reason for it, because you don't leave any money on the table. And if you do that, you're going to earn somewhere between, I'm going to say between $800 to $2,000 a month. And it's a range because it really varies on a lot of different little factors in there, but $800 to $1,000 a month. And like I said earlier, what could you do with an extra $1,000 a month? I'll tell you, in the United States right now, you know, millennials are complaining that they don't have enough money to pay rent. Hey, there's an extra $1,000 a month, and if you do it right, and I can go through all that, but right now I just want to close my part of this talk, because you know, Katie and I try and keep this down to a half hour. But just saying, get back to the person that brought you here. Take another look and see if this might be right for you. See if there might be something here that makes sense. And